Hi there. Are you in a really hot real estate market and out there trying to make offers in multiple offer situation? You know what? That is what we are dealing with today in Austin, Texas. So I have a few tips for you. I have 10 things, 10 suggestions for you to help your offer stand out among the crowd. The reason we are dealing with it is because our inventory is so low and the demand is high for people out there trying to purchase another property to live in. So we are really seeing multiple offer situations here rampantly in all different price ranges. In the sub 300, 650 price ranges, definitely. But we're also seeing it in the million plus market as well. So I thought that more people might need some information about what can they do when they are trying to purchase real estate in a multiple offer situation. What can you do to help your offer stand out among the other offers that are also coming in? Number one, offer a low number of days for an option period. And if you don't know what option period is, you can find my other YouTube video that talks about option period, option fee, and that'll explain that. But offer to do your option period in 3 days or 5 days. You just will need to go ahead and have your inspector lined up probably before you even go under contract. Another thing that you can do to help your offer stand out is to offer a higher than customary option fee. Because your option fee, you are sending a signal to the seller on how much you like their house and how much you think that it is a fit for you and your purchase. And so instead of offering, if it's customary to offer, $250, offer $500. Or you could offer $1,000 for an option fee. And that can really catch the seller's attention. I had one recently where two different buyers in a multiple offer situation offered $5,000 for an option fee. And that really speaks a lot to the seller. And if you don't know what an option fee is, watch my other YouTube video on that. Another thing you can do, which this doesn't cost you any extra money in the long run, and it's not a risk, you can offer a higher earnest money amount. The typical amount in Austin is about is 1% of the contract price. So maybe offer 3% of your offer price as your earnest money. That is money that you would get back if for some reason you needed to terminate during your option period. You would get that money back anyway. Another thing you can do is, instead of asking the seller to pay for the buyer's home warranty policy, don't ask them to. Just go ahead and when you're under contract, you as the buyer, you purchase your own home warranty policy. If it's a home without a pool, you can get a good home warranty policy for $550. So if you're looking at spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, I think that you can spring for a $700 or $500 home warranty policy. Another thing you could do is get a little bit creative and write a letter to the seller and explain to them why you think that this property is perfect for you, for your purchase, or for your family. You could even have your child, if you have kids, have your kids draw a picture of the house with your family in front of the house or something. Kind of tug at the heartstrings just a little bit. I have seen it where I've had sellers choose an offer based on the letter. Another thing that you can do is use the title company that the seller is requesting. You don't have to use that title company, but if you do, it just shows you're being more agreeable. Another thing is you could check the box on the contract where you do not credit the option fee to your closing costs. So if you give them $1,000 option fee, then that means that will not be applied to the closing costs. So you'll have to come up with an additional $1,000, and it just nets the seller another $1,000. You could also, one thing you definitely should, number one thing do is contact that listing agent and find out prior to writing the offer, find out what is that seller looking for? What is most important to them? Do they need a lease back? Do they need to go under contract for 30 days, close, and then still live in the house for another 30 days? Well, if they do, offer them a lease back and offer it to them at a very reasonable price. You can also sway them by offering it to them for free. So that means that they save a whole month on another mortgage. Or do they want to just stay under contract for 60 days and not close for 60 days? There are all different ways that those lease backs can be written that are an advantage to both parties. And so make sure that you have your agent ask those questions before writing the offer. It's really important. And then the last thing is offer the lease back for free. I've had that happen before where someone was really trying to convince my seller to sell their house. This was one that wasn't even on the market. So it wasn't a multiple offer situation, but that buyer fell in love with my seller's house and they wanted to convince them to go ahead and sell it to them. And so they offered a 2-month free lease back. And it was a $1 million+ house. And so to my sellers, it was a benefit of almost $10,000 just from that free lease back because they weren't paying a mortgage for 2 months. And one bonus tip for you, tip number 11. Remember, in a multiple offer situation, your list price is your base price. So start from there and go up. The other 10 items, they can help you in making your offer stand out, be a little bit more creative than maybe some of the other buyers that are offering. And if you have any other questions about any of the terms that I've talked about, you might want to check out some of my other YouTube videos. And if you have any specific questions for me, feel free to send me an email or look me up on social media.